All right, everyone, get ready for a deep dive that's going to really get you thinking. We're talking about AI, but not just any AI. We're talking about using AI to write marketing copy that actually works. Not just clicks, but sales, people.
It's wild, right? Like, it's almost like, I don't know, technology and creativity are merging into something totally new.
Exactly. And the crazy thing is, it's already happening. Today, we're diving into a blog post from a Steves Jr., a real marketing guru, by the way.
Oh, yeah, he knows his stuff.
The post is called Five Phrases que Transformam Cliques Mendes como ChatGPT. It's in Portuguese, so for those who don't speak the language, that translates to 5 phrases that transform clicks into sales with ChatGPT. This was just published on January 19th, 2025, so it's fresh off the digital press.
And the thing that Steves Jr. really emphasizes is that, yeah, getting clicks is important, but it's just the beginning. The real magic is in those, like, perfectly crafted phrases that actually turn a curious click into a sale.
Okay, so let's break this down. Most people have at least heard of ChatGPT by now. But as Steve Jr. is saying, it can do way more than write poems or answer random questions. He's saying it can write marketing copy that actually connects with people on a deeper level.
Yeah, and he even gives you specific prompts to use with ChatGPT. For example, he suggests this prompt: Crie uma frase persuasiva que combine urgência e benefício para uma promoção limitada, which means create a persuasive phrase that combines urgency and benefit for a limited time promotion. So he's not just, talking about it, he's giving you the actual tools to do it.
He's walking the walk.
Uh-huh.
I like that. Okay, so let's get into these 5 key phrases he outlines. The first one he talks about is the power of urgency and scarcity.
Right, and this is where a little bit of psychology comes in. He gives the example, aproveite o agora antes que seja tarde, which means take advantage now before it's too late. It's all about tapping into that, like, fear of missing out, that FOMO.
That's classic marketing, right? The
Yeah.
limited time offer. But now with AI, it's like that tactic on steroids. I mean, if this is what AI can do now, what will it be capable of in the future?
I know, right? It's kind of mind-blowing. But, yeah, staying with the present for now. Steve's Jr.'s next category is all about building an emotional connection with your audience.
Okay, now this is where I'm really curious. Because, like, AI still feels very logical to me, very data-driven. Can it really capture genuine human emotion?
Well, check out this example Steve's Jr. uses, porque cuidar de sí es acto de grandeza, meaning because taking care of yourself is an act of greatness. He's showing how you can connect a purchase to something, more meaningful, like self-care.
So it's not just about selling a product, it's about selling a feeling, a value, an idea. That's clever.
Exactly. And it makes sense when you think about it. We're way more likely to buy something if it aligns with, like, our personal values or if it makes us feel good about ourselves.
I totally agree. Okay, so we've got FOMO and feel-good vibes covered. What's the next secret weapon in this AI-powered persuasive arsenal?
All right, next up, Steve's Jr. highlights the importance of tangible results. He reminds us that people need to see how a product will actually benefit them, in a concrete way. His example phrase is pequeñas mudanzas, grandes resultados, meaning small changes, big results.
Oh, I like that. It's specific, but it's also hopeful. It's not just making vague promises. It's about showing the positive impact.
Right. It's not just telling, it's showing.
And in a world where we're constantly bombarded with marketing messages, the kind of clarity and directness can really cut through the noise. This is seriously making me want to try these prompts out myself. Okay, what's next? We've got urgency, emotional connection, tangible results. What else does a Steve Jr. have up his sleeve?
Well, his fourth category is all about exclusivity. It's about tapping into that, human desire to be part of something special, something unique.
Stand out from the crowd.
Right. Yes. And his example phrase here is uma experiencia feita para impresionar, which means an experience made to impress.
Well, that's clever. It makes the product sound luxurious and aspirational. It's like those exclusive clubs or limited edition products that everyone wants to get their hands on.
Exactly. It's all about tapping into that sense of prestige, the feeling of having something that not everyone else can get.
Okay, 4 down, 1 to go. What's the final piece of this persuasive puzzle?
It all comes down to the call to action, that moment where you tell your audience exactly what you want them to do, like, shop now or learn more. It's interesting, though, because while he emphasizes how crucial a strong call to action is, he doesn't actually give a specific phrase example for this category.
You're right. That is interesting. Maybe it's because the call to action needs to be so specific to the product or service you're marketing.
That's a good point. A call to action for a high-end car is going to be very different from one for a budget-friendly app.
You're totally right. It all comes back to understanding your audience and tailoring your message accordingly. But the takeaway here is that you need a clear and compelling call to action, something that tells people exactly what step to take next.
Absolutely. Without that clear direction, all the persuasive language in the world might not lead to actual sales.
So there you have it. We just broke down all 5 of the Steve Jr.'s key phrases for using AI to write marketing copy that converts.
And it's clear he believes in this, right? He thinks this could be a game changer.
Yeah, he's not just playing around. He even includes links to his Instagram, some of his other blog posts, all his online stuff.
Right, building his brand.
But I do wonder if a blog post is, the best way to share this kind of knowledge. Technology changes so fast. I wonder if maybe an interactive tutorial or video would be like more engaging.
That's interesting. I mean, it makes you think about how the way you present information is almost as important as the information itself.
That is a really interesting point. Maybe we'll have to do a whole separate deep dive into that topic.
I'm in. But for now, let's stick with this fascinating blog post.
Okay, back to Steve Jr. It seems like he's really trying to show that anyone can use these tools and techniques, not just marketing experts. With little help from AI, anyone can create compelling copy that gets results.
Absolutely. It's really empowering, right? It's like democratizing access to these, powerful tools.
So hold on. Does this mean I can finally fire my copywriter and just let ChatGPT take over? Just kidding. Maybe. While ChatGPT is a powerful tool, it's not a magic solution. You still need human creativity and strategic thinking.
So it's more like having a really smart writing assistant, someone who can generate ideas and help you refine your message, but ultimately you're still the one steering the ship.
Exactly. You still need to understand your audience, define your goals, and, make sure your message aligns with your brand.
So, okay, now we've learned about these 5 persuasive phrases, but how do we actually put them into practice? Like, where do we use them? That's a great question. And that's exactly what we're going to explore in the next part of our deep dive. We'll be talking about how to apply these AI-generated phrases across all sorts of different marketing channels.
So stay tuned, folks. We're about to get even more practical and show you how to put this knowledge into action. See you soon.
Welcome back. So we've got these 5 awesome phrases from Miss Steves Jr., right? Now I'm thinking, how do we actually use them, like in real-life marketing?
Exactly. I want to see these phrases in action. Websites, social media, where do they fit in?
Okay, picture this. A potential customer lands on your website. What's the first thing they see?
The landing page, right?
Boom! That's prime real estate. Hit them with a phrase that showcases tangible results. Remember Steve Jr.'s example. Pequeñas mudanzas, grandes resultados. Small changes, big results. Bam, you got their attention.
Makes sense. So it's not just about, having a pretty website anymore. It's about using language that actually connects with people.
You got it. And what about social media? Everything's so fast-paced, right? You got to grab people instantly.
Yeah, people scroll and scroll.
Yeah, exactly. So you need a phrase that creates an emotional connection, because taking care of yourself is an act of greatness. Boom, hit them in the feels.
I like it. It's like you're not just selling a product, you're selling a feeling, a lifestyle,
Totally. It's about aligning with people's values. Now let's talk email marketing. With email, you have a bit more space. You can tell a story.
Oh, yeah. You can build a relationship with your audience.
Right. So you can use a phrase that creates urgency, that fear of missing out.
Like, take advantage now before it's too late. That always works.
It's a classic for a reason. But remember, it's not just about randomly throwing these phrases around. You got to think about what you're selling.
Right. A phrase that works for a flash sale might not work for something more, long term.
Exactly. This is where, human intuition still matters. AI can help us with the phrases, but we need to choose the right ones.
So it's like, we're still the brains of the operation. AI is just like this amazing tool we can use.
Think of it as a partnership. We bring our creativity, our knowledge, and AI brings the linguistic firepower. But it makes you think, all this talk about persuasion, are we, manipulating people?
Ooh, good point. Is it ethical to use AI to get people to buy stuff they don't really need?
That's a big question and one we definitely need to consider. For me, honesty is key.
Don't hide the fact that you're using AI.
Exactly. Be transparent about it. And always focus on giving your customers real value, not just trying to trick them into buying stuff.
Value over trickery. I like that. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We know how to use these phrases. We've talked about ethics. But what about Steve Jr.? Does he give us any, hints about the future of all this?
Well, in this blog post, he doesn't make any specific predictions, but you can tell he's really excited about the potential of AI.
Yeah, he even links to some of his other stuff like his Instagram, other blog posts, podcasts.
He's a total AI enthusiast, and when you check out his other work, you can tell he's really into this whole, intersection of technology and creativity.
He's got a podcast episode about using ChatGPT to, get this, potentially triple sales.
Triple sales, wow. And he's got blog posts on everything from avoiding language errors in Portuguese to improving fitness routines, even using AI to spot fashion trends.
It's like he's saying, hey, if you can imagine it, AI can probably help you do it better.
And that's what's so mind-blowing about all this. We're just starting to see how AI can, level up our lives.
It really feels like a whole new world, right? And this conversation is just getting started. I bet AI is going to be a big theme on the deep dive from now on.
Oh, yeah, definitely. This is just the beginning. But before we wrap up this part, I want to challenge our listeners. We've talked about how AI can be used to, persuade us. But what about becoming more aware as consumers?
Like, how do we spot when we're being manipulated?
Exactly. We need to develop our critical thinking skills. Don't just blindly buy into every marketing message you see.
So it's about empowering ourselves as consumers.
Yes. Don't be a passive target. Be an active participant.
I like that, an active participant in this whole digital world. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned for the final part of our deep dive.
We'll be looking at some real-world examples of AI marketing in action. It's going to get really interesting.
Welcome back to the deep dive, everyone. It's time to wrap up our exploration of AI-powered marketing, and I'm excited to see some real-world examples in action. It's one thing to talk about the potential, but actually seeing how companies are using AI right now, that's what really brings it home.
Totally. And honestly, there are some pretty amazing things happening out there. It's not just theory anymore. AI is changing the marketing game in some pretty mind-blowing ways.
Okay, so let's talk more action. What are some companies doing right now that really showcase this power of AI in marketing?
Well, one example that really impressed me is this fashion retailer. They're using AI to personalize their email marketing.
Personalize? Like how?
So instead of just sending out the same generic email blast to everyone, they're using AI to analyze each customer's data, like their past purchases, what they've clicked on, even their social media activity.
So it's like the AI is figuring out what each person wants to see.
Exactly. And then they use that data to curate product recommendations that are specifically tailored to that person's taste. It's like having a personal stylist in your inbox.
That's way better than getting a bunch of random stuff you'd never buy.
Right. And the results speak for themselves. This company has seen a huge jump in their click-through rates and sales since they started using AI.
Okay, so personalized emails, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What other industries are using AI in cool ways?
Well, think about the travel industry. It's all about, planning the perfect vacation, but it can be so overwhelming, so much to think about, so many choices.
Yeah, you end up spending hours scrolling through websites, and it's like, where do you even begin?
Exactly. But imagine this. You tell an AI what kind of trip you're looking for, your budget, your travel dates, what kind of activities you like, the whole 9 yards.
And the AI just puts together the perfect itinerary for you.
That's the idea. There are already companies using AI to create custom travel itineraries. It takes all the stress out of planning, and you end up with a trip that's truly tailored to your needs and interests.
Wow, that's really impressive. So it sounds like AI is popping up everywhere in marketing these days. What else have you seen out there?
Oh, tons of things. AI is being used to create super targeted social media ads, to write blog posts that rank high in search results, even to generate video scripts that are tailored to specific audiences.
It's really changing the whole landscape of marketing, isn't it? It makes you wonder what the marketing jobs of the future are going to look like.
That's a great question. It's unlikely that AI will completely replace human marketers, but the skills needed to succeed are definitely going to evolve.
So instead of, writing every single piece of copy by hand, marketers will need to learn how to use these AI tools effectively.
Exactly. It's going to be about strategy, about analyzing data, about understanding how to best leverage AI to achieve your marketing goals.
So it's still a human-driven process, but AI becomes like this, super-powered assistant.
I like that analogy. AI isn't here to replace us. It's here to help us do our jobs better.
It's like we've been saying all along. It's a partnership between humans and AI.
Right. And I think that's what makes this whole field so exciting. It's not about one replacing the other. It's about finding ways to work together to create something truly innovative.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. We've gone from the theoretical to the practical, and I have to say, I'm feeling pretty optimistic about the future of AI in marketing.
Me too. It's a really dynamic field, and the possibilities are endless.
As always, we encourage all of our listeners to stay curious, keep learning, and who knows, maybe someday we'll even have AI co-hosts on the deep dive.
That would definitely shake things up.
Until then, thanks for joining us on this incredible journey. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into the world of knowledge and ideas.